Hey guys, hi there. How are you all doing today? It's so good to see you all. I am back with another video. I wanted to come in and check on you guys to see how you all have been doing. I know it's been about a week, maybe a little bit longer since I did my last video, and I at least try to check in with you guys maybe twice a week. If I'm only able to do it once a week, it's probably because I'm not feeling my best. But I just wanted to just come on just to check in with you all to see how you guys were doing. I've had some interaction with a couple beautiful CP moms, and I just wanted to have a lighthearted conversation, um, just to see how you guys have been, and to also update you on how things have been going with me. So, where do I start? First of all, let me just say that I have met so many wonderful women, and I know that I say this on every video, but when I tell you, you all are amazing. You all are so amazing because you have helped to make this journey so much easier. This is going to be a CP video today. I have some other content and some other videos I'm going to be doing maybe later on this week, but I just it was on my heart today to come on and kind of catch you up and to answer a couple of questions. But before I do, like I said, I've met so many wonderful moms, and you all are just so courageous, and you all are holding it down. You're taking this journey, and you're just doing what you have to do, and that is that's commendable, because as well as any of us how difficult this situation is. For those of you who are watching this video for the first time, the topic that I'm going to be talking about is called Cryptic Pregnancy. You'll definitely see it in the title of my video. So if you are a new subscriber or you are a new viewer, this channel targets cryptic pregnancy awareness, and we talk about different subjects and different things about our journey. So welcome. So just if you want to just sit back and listen, I wanted to address some of the questions that I've been getting. They're repeated questions, and I try to refer people to my previous videos, but I said I would just jump on just to answer some basic questions, and also, like I said, to update you all on what has been going on with me, because I know a lot of people have been asking how I've been doing and when was my last appointment and things like that. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. I do want to ask you all, how have you all been doing? Before I talk about me, how have you guys been holding on? What's amazing, you all, is how so many different women are coming out of the woodworks with this kind of pregnancy. Like, I'm floored at how many women are dealing with this. It's crazy. And I think it's because of our videos. I think because we have raised our voices. I think it's because we have, decided to talk about it. We have decided to tell our story. And because of that, so many other women are just like contacting me and saying, you know what, I think I have this kind of pregnancy too. And then they start to go into all of the symptoms that they're having and what they're going through and what they've been dealing with and what the doctors have been saying. And it is just so amazing. And people send pictures of their sonogram, just to get an idea of what I think or just my opinion. Again, I'm not a professional or anything like that. I'm just telling my story, as you all know. I'm just telling my story. And because of that, so many other women are like, oh my God, I thought I was by myself. I thought I was the only one, and I'm just so thankful that that we are able to help other women come, open with, and talk about what they're going through, because it's so liberating when you have a community of people that you can talk to and really be open about what you're dealing with. So many women are saying how, their bellies are growing, how they felt movement, but they're still getting negative tests. And, you all know, what we go through. Some of you guys have been following me for a while, so you all know what all of the symptoms, signs and symptoms are and what we go through. But there's so many moms that are new to this, and they don't have, they know, they feel like they're pregnant, and they're almost sure that they are, but they get confused about how they are still getting the negative test results, like the negative blood work and urine, and how doctors are telling them they're not pregnant, and how doctors are saying they don't see anything on the sonogram. So a lot of the women are in that phase, whereas we already know we've gotten turned away from that when we first discovered that we are pregnant. So I always chat back. I always try to comment back and give them, try to answer at least a couple of questions that they may have. So yeah. I try to make sure that I at least answer a couple of questions, because I don't want to just say go, watch my video. I want to engage with people that reach out to me. So I hope that I have been a help to you guys, and I'm going to continue to push and, make these videos, and, we're going to get through this. So let's see, where do I begin without this video going too long? Let's see. So I'll jump right in and talk about where things have been with me. I have had, you guys, for the last month. The month of October has been really, really rough. And I know I said that on previous videos, but I can tell that there's a shifting in my pregnancy, in so much that, I told you guys that I'm not able to, walk very far. I can only take a few steps because the babies are really low, they're really heavy, and I need to get around in a scooter now because I'm not able to walk. But now, I just feel like the steps that I felt I could take previously, that has lessened now. And I honestly, I really wish I could be on bed rest. And that's not to say that I would be in the bed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but I can tell that I need to be off my feet because it feels like the babies are shifting. And when you have CP, you have what is called a growth spurt, where your babies are growing and moving, and there's a lot going on in there. I don't know, I have all of the answers as to what it could be, but it's almost like it's like a metamorphosis taking place or something. And it's almost like you have to be still or be at rest when that transformation is going on. You know how a caterpillar turns into a butterfly, and it's going through this metamorphosis where it's getting too close to that point where it's getting ready to come out of the cocoon and spread its wings. That's kind of like what I'm going through, and it's so exhausting. It's just like really, really exhausting, and the babies have gotten a lot lower, and so I'm kind of nervous about that because and right now, I'm the only one that can lift my scooter in and out of my vehicle. The scooter does break down. Like, I don't lift the whole scooter up by itself. Like, the wheels come off, the batteries come out, the battery comes out, and then the seat comes off. So it breaks down into compartments, but the battery and the wheels and the actual body of the scooter is really, really heavy. And so when I have to lift that into my vehicle, I can feel the pull and the strain in the lower part of my abdomen. And it definitely agitates the baby. Like, I can tell because I start cramping as soon as I'm done. And it makes me so upset because I don't have anybody to help me get the scooter into my vehicle when I leave from work. Now, I have my daughter helps me get the scooter out of the vehicle almost every day, but in the evening time, our schedules are different, so she's not there. Whenever I can ask for help, I'll ask for help. So I gotta try to figure out what I'm gonna do about that because I can't lift that scooter, but I can't not have it because I can't make it from my vehicle to my job without the assistance of the scooter. So that has been something that I've been dealing with. My blood pressure has been elevating. I've always had high blood pressure, but I feel like when I don't get enough rest, and when I'm not like off, even if I'm just sitting in a chair, like I need to lay down, get off my feet, elevate my feet, because when you're pregnant, your ankles and your legs and your feet swell, and I just need to relax my body, and I don't need to be stressed or anything like that. Like, you really have to be careful. At least for me, and I don't know if it's because I think that's with any pregnancy, but more so with the tenderness of this pregnancy, because CP moms are known to have multiples, and because our babies are not inside of our womb. We can carry our babies outside of our womb, so we have to really, really be careful. Um, and driving, has always been an issue for me, because my body gets really lethargic and fatigued when I'm driving, and so I end up kind of feeling sleepy behind the wheel, and that hasn't changed. That's always been like that. But like when it's rainy and wet, there's a lot of traffic, and I'm in the car more than about maybe 30, 40 minutes, and I'm driving. It's the worst. It's not a good experience. So I'm just praying about a lot of things, and I really feel like I need to come off my job, but because I don't know when the babies are coming, I don't want to. I'm not in a position to do that right now. Meaning, I have things that I need to continue to take care of to prepare for my retirement, so that when I do retire, I'll have everything in order. And I've been working on that for a good while now. So I'm doing things to prepare to come off my job, because I don't know when I'm going to have the babies. But when I do, I know what my plans are going to be. So, yeah, so I have an appointment coming up on next month. I have a couple of appointments. I have this one test, and I don't know if you all know what this is. So I talked to my doctor, and she has given orders for me to have, it's an ultrasound, but apparently this ultrasound is supposed to take an hour. It's supposed to be an extensive look over my entire abdomen, which I thought was done when you do an ultrasound anyway. I don't know how much more thorough you can get with an ultrasound unless you bypass that altogether and do an MRI. But apparently the lady, when I was making my appointment, was like, yeah, this test is an hour long. It's, and I don't even know if she gave it a name, but apparently it's supposed to take an hour. Now, I don't know what they're going to be doing, but here's the part that I did not like. So when I met with my doctor and we agreed to do another ultrasound, because the plan was to meet with the radiologist, the last ultrasound that I had, but the radiologist never contacted my doctor. So she said, okay, I'll reschedule another ultrasound at the lab that I send my patients to. Go there. That way, I know that I can have better luck with speaking to the radiologist. So that's how we ended up. That's how I ended up having to have another ultrasound done. But she said, yeah, I want you to know that I put on your order to rule out pregnancy. She put R/O. And she said, the reason why I did that is because I want them to check everywhere. She's like, I want them to look, anywhere possible where, the babies could be. Like, I guess, because, my babies are in my back, they're all in my back, my side, my ribs, everywhere. And I tell her that all the time. And so she was like, well, so that they can look in those places, I'm going to rule out pregnancy. Now, here's the thing that I didn't like about it, but I didn't say anything at the time because it didn't register when she said that. If this test is supposed to be extensive and it's supposed to take quite some time and all of that, why do you need to rule out pregnancy when that's an automatic, that's a given? If you're doing an exam and you don't see a baby, then pregnancy is ruled out. I mean, so why do you have to rule out pregnancy? To me, that was an indication, and maybe I'm jumping the gun, but y'all already know how shady these doctors are and how they treat us. So to me, that was an indication. I felt like an indication that you're saying, make it go away. Even if you see it, make it go away. Rule out. So why rule out pregnancy when that's going to automatically happen if you don't see anything? But I believe that my doctor knows that these babies are very present. Because even from the other ultrasounds that I've shown her that I had done in the past, my babies are very present. But y'all know what we go through. Y'all know that these doctors lie, and they say they don't see a baby, and they tell us we're not pregnant because according to them medically, if we're not getting a positive blood or urine test, no matter what they say they see, they're going to say we're not pregnant, and they can hear a heartbeat. Because I asked my doctor, I said, so let's say I never get a positive blood test. Let's say I never get a, positive urine test. I said, what if when you, because she uses the baby Doppler to try to get the baby's heartbeat when I come to see her. I said, so what if and she did that the last time I was there, and we got the baby's heartbeat, but you know what she said? Oh, that's your heartbeat. Okay. And listen, I didn't say anything. I was just like, oh, okay. Because I'm going to have to go, that's the kind of stuff I know I'm going to have to go through. And I can't get in an uproar. I have to pick and choose my battles, but it's okay because I have my own Doppler. I check my baby's heartbeat from home, and I will be recording it. And the next time I go back, I'm going to show it to her. So it's ways around her shenanigans. But anyway, so she listened to the baby's heartbeat and claimed that it was my heartbeat. It wasn't the baby's heartbeat. But you know how when you use the Doppler and you can hear the babies moving around because they kind of run from it. But you know how you hear all this when the babies are moving. She heard all of that. So if there's nothing inside of me, why are you hearing all of this movement? Getting a heartbeat, the monitor, the heart is flashing. And you hear all of this movement, and then you say, that's my heartbeat. So I asked her, I said, but I asked this question before she checked for the baby's heartbeat. I said, so what if you get a baby's heartbeat when you examine me? Then what? What does that mean? And she said, well, then that means that you have a viable pregnancy. And so I said, oh, okay. I said, so if you can get the baby's heartbeat, that's going to be your what convinces you or whatever like that. She was like, well, if you hear baby's heartbeat, it's a viable pregnancy. So we kept talking, and then before I left, she was like, if you want me to check to see if I can hear the baby's heartbeat, I'll check. So that's when she checked, heard the heartbeat, and then said, oh, that was my heartbeat. But she heard the baby moving and everything. But at that point, like I said, I didn't argue about it. I was just like, okay, whatever. So, I'm supposed to have this test done next month. And then obviously after I have the test done, then I have an appointment also scheduled to see her. But the good thing about this is that I can get the images of my ultrasound before I leave my appointment. They can put it on a CD for you, and you can get copies of your images. So I get to walk away with my images from my test the same day. Now, I'll be honest, y'all, the place is so far away. Like, it's like over like an hour and a half away from where I live. It's early in the morning. You gotta have, don't nobody feel like being stuck and probed, and y'all know how those ultrasounds can be, and especially because my babies my babies are all the way at the bottom of my abdomen. So when they do transvaginal and all that, it just makes the baby so uncomfortable, and you get crampy and all of that. And then I have a hard time staying awake when I drive. And then, having the exam done and then having to drive all the way back home. Like, I know I'm going to be so wiped out. Like, I really got to pray and ask God to keep me. I may have to stop at my mom's house and rest or something. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. But then again, I'm not, because my morning has got to start so early for this test. So, but yeah. So I have not been feeling well. I haven't been feeling well, just because I just can't do anything. Like, I literally just have to be off my feet, laying down, resting. And I wanted to do this video today because I don't know when I'm going to be able to do another one. It's probably going to definitely be next week. But I want to keep you all updated because I need to know how you all are doing. And like I said, I wanted to just jump on and give you an update about what's happening with me and then answer some of the questions that you all have. Now, so let's talk about... Let's talk about some of the comments that I've been receiving. So you all know you're always going to have trolls and people who, no matter what you say, some lady or some girl, I don't know who she was, had this long, comment about, this is impossible. Only animals can carry babies longer than, a certain amount of time. And it prove it to me, and it hasn't been proven, and yada, 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 yada. And now I'm to the point where I don't even like read it verbatim word for word. I'll skim through it, see what direction the comment is going in, and block it. Like, I don't even read it, because one, I don't have to prove anything to you. Two, animals are not the only species or creature, or whatever you want to call it, that can carry a baby longer than 9 months. Obviously, humans can too, because we are. But it's just a person's ignorance. So, I just had to throw that in there because I just thought it was funny. And I could tell that I'm growing, because it used to get under my skin when I used to see stuff like that. It used to really bother me. But now it's like, whatever, on to the next wonderful comment from people who, because a lot of people even come on, because this one other lady was like, have you had your baby yet? And my response to her was, are you a CP mom? Because I'm not going to get into all of that with you. If you're one, I mean, you don't necessarily have to be a CP mom, but what's your motive? Why do you want to know? You know what I mean? If you, because this one lady came on, this young lady, she was like, I've never heard of CP before. She was like, I'm just curious about it. I'm not, trying to be like mean or anything. She was like, but can you explain what it is? And I don't mind answering questions like that. But when I feel like, you're trying to be messy, I'm not spinning my wheels. So I just wanted to say that to you all too. I know we all still have problems with, not problems, but we have issues or situations where people don't believe us about our pregnancy. And I think that's just going to be what it is. Whether it's your family, whether it's your friends, whether it's your co-workers, whether it's your associates, whether it's just people in general. And you got to get past that, because at the end of the day, you got to focus on yourself and your baby. And no matter what anyone else says or think, you know your truth. And once you know your truth, it doesn't matter what any other person that comes on these videos to try to give you their logic or their theology about. Because I think somebody was saying, oh, there's no such thing as cryptic pregnancy. It's not even called that. It's called something else. This, that, and the third. I don't care what it's called. At the end of the day, it's about us having a baby inside of us, or babies inside of us, that we are trying to deliver at some point. And that's growing, taking a longer time to grow than a normal pregnancy. It could be called anything. I don't care what it's called. Y'all remember? If you go back, go watch my other video where it's called Bubblegum Baby. Now, I know that title sounds ridiculous, but go back and watch that video. It's called Bubblegum Baby, and you'll get the gist of what I'm saying. So, I want to talk about real quick, because it's almost at the place where I need to stop, but a lot of women are asking, like, how do I know if I have cryptic pregnancy? You have to pay attention to your body. The thing that's throwing women off is the negative blood tests, the negative urine, and obviously what the doctors are saying when they go in for ultrasounds that they don't see a baby. But when they get the ultrasounds back, they actually do see their baby on the ultrasound. And obviously that's what happened to me, and that's what happened to you. So these women are saying, I've got all these pregnancy symptoms, I've gained all this weight, my belly is growing. But the key thing that they always say that I feel movement. I feel the baby moving. My stomach is growing. I'm outgrowing all my clothes. I'm gaining weight. But the doctors keep telling me I'm not pregnant. And my response is, listen to your body. Don't ignore your symptoms. I don't care what the doctor says. If you see something moving around in your belly and your belly is growing, then pay attention to that. Continue to monitor that. It's not really a whole lot you can do in terms of making it, go away or whatever like that. But what you do is, if you feel like you have a pregnancy that's giving you a negative positive, what do you call it? So you're pregnant, but your test is coming back negative. So it's a false positive, I guess, or false negative. That's what cryptic pregnancy does. It gives you a false negative, because it's a hormonal imbalance. So unless your pregnancy turns normal, your blood work is always going to come back negative. But you are, in fact, still pregnant. So prepare yourself to take your prenatal pills, or whatever type of prenatal care. If you know, over the counter or whatever like that, drink plenty of water, get plenty of rest, continue to stay linked, you know, to the community of women that's dealing with the same type of pregnancy, so you can learn more about it. You know, I'm gonna tell you like this: pray and ask God to give you wisdom. Pray and ask God to show you what it is you need to see and understand about what you're going through. Because, you know, everybody can't always give you the answer. Some things are going to come, you know, just by your intuition as a mom, just by God dealing with you, and just by you knowing yourself in your own body, because people can't tell you everything. Now, the thing with cryptic pregnancy is that you go through so many different physical, you know, challenges and changes in your body. And you get different types of aches and pains. Your belly shape changes a lot. The babies are like on one side, then they're on the other side. 1 minute your stomach is high, next minute your stomach is low. You know, so it's a lot to this condition. It really, really, really is. And the other question that I get is, how do you get cryptic pregnancy? How does that happen to women? Like, how do women get it? Again, do your research. Google cryptic pregnancy, read, study, see how much information you can get on it. From what I've always understood is cryptic pregnancy can come in various ways. You know, you can be a woman that's premenopausal and you can get pregnant right before you get ready to go into menopause. If you have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, that can cause a cryptic pregnancy, because PCOS has something to do with how your hormones function. For what I've read, that you can get have a cryptic pregnancy if you're underweight, if you're overweight, if you have done fertility at some point, which is in my case. My husband and I were trying when we first got married, back, and we got married in 20. When did we get married? Oh, 2013. And we started trying aggressively with fertility in 2014. So my cryptic pregnancy could have come from, you know, when I was getting the shots in my stomach from the hormone injections. But I also have PCOS. I also I'm premenopausal at the time. I was, because I found out through blood work, my doctor told me that I wasn't in menopause. So I don't think my cryptic pregnancy came from me being premenopausal, because he did blood work, and I was like 48 at the time. And he told me, he was like, "You're not in menopause." So, I don't know. I guess either PCOS or from taking the fertility drugs. I don't know. I really honestly can't tell you. There are other ways that I've heard about how you can become cryptically pregnant. I think there's some type of birth control. Like, you know how you have those implants that you can get when you're on birth control? Like Norplant and all this other stuff that they used to put in your arm to when you were using it as a form of prevention from getting pregnant. I think that's one way you can get cryptic pregnancy. Because those little things that they put in you, they have hormones that's released into your body, so you can become cryptically pregnant that way too. And some women may say, "Well, I don't have PCOS, and I'm not underweight, I'm not overweight, I'm just right. I've never took fertility drugs, so how did I get it? I don't know. That's just my understanding, and I could be wrong. So research it, because I don't have all the answers, guys. I'm not an expert. I see people, I'm going through it just like you guys, and I'm only giving you information, as it's given to me, or as I research and find out, or whatever like that. So, That's one of the questions that I always get. How do you get it? And how long do you have it? Well, as we all know, cryptic pregnancy is indefinite. Some people can be pregnant 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. Some people can be pregnant a year. Some people can be pregnant and then their pregnancy turns normal and they deliver their baby. It just depends. Now, from what I have I guess, engaging and based on my interaction with actual, CP moms, I've seen a lot of CP moms still in their fifth and sixth and, and beyond years still pregnant. That doesn't mean that it's your situation. That doesn't mean that's going to be my situation. That's just been what I have been gauging. So, and then I had somebody inbox me asking me about mecha root or something. I don't take any chemicals or any substances to try to speed this process up. My babies will come when God says they're ready to get here. So any type of supplement and all that stuff, I don't mess with none of that. I'm not knocking anybody that does. If you choose to and it works for you, God bless. That's great. I mean, I'm happy for anybody that gets results. But for me, that's not the route that I'm choosing to go. So I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm just saying I don't use any supplements because I was asked that question. And then the other question is I'm often asked is how long have I been pregnant? How long for me? Now, like I said before, and I'm just recapping. I next month I say will be 25 months. But I have been pregnant, I think, over 3 years. But when I first could actually prove it and saw my baby on the sonogram and I felt my baby's move, that would be, it would be 25 months in November. But once I realized that I was pregnant, and I went back to think about all of the symptoms and stuff that I was having before I even knew what cryptic pregnancy was. I was, in fact, pregnant back then, but I didn't know it. So I just say for the sake of a time frame, 25 months, but I'll say 25 months plus or whatever like that. So yeah. But yeah, so you'll have your period still when you have cryptic pregnancy. I think once you get further along, your period starts to slow down. Some people stop having their period altogether and still get a negative test. Some people go 2, 3, 4, 5 months without a period, and then all of a sudden they wake up one day and the period is there. Some you can spot some days. You can have like a liquid. You can have like a I don't want to say discharges or whatever. Just kind of, y'all know how our bodies lubricate itself and drip and all of that stuff. Your body goes through all of that. So I don't know. But what I'm going to do is, this video is over 30 minutes. So I'm going to end this video and then I will start another video because I don't want to make this video too long. What do you guys think? Because sometimes when a video is too long, people kind of like, okay. So, yeah. All right, so I'm going to stop this video and then I'll start again. I'll be right back, guys.